I was getting a lot of questions from people. The reason was because my original videos that I put out went through all the steps required to set up this process, but people thought that I didn't properly explain all of the actual back end and what's actually happening. So I wanted to give everyone just a background on what exactly retail arbitrage is and what that process looks like from fulfillment to sales, as well as specific sales strategies. And then once you guys have this down and once you have an understanding of this, then we can move into actually going into and setting up a store and seeing what that is going to look like. So when we're thinking about retail arbitrage, what we're doing is we are taking products from existing suppliers. In this case, we're looking at existing eBay suppliers, which doesn't necessarily need to mean that it is a Chinese supplier or it's a wholesaler. It can even be the individual products that are being auctioned off, like used products, refurbished products being auctioned off of eBay. We're basically taking anything from eBay and we're selling that at a higher cost. So say for example, there's a gaming console that you see on eBay and it's used from the 90s and it's listed there for $10. So you can go ahead and buy this product from eBay for $10 for this $10 cost. And let's say you want to list it for $20. That's how much you think a buyer will actually pay for it. So what we're doing is we're going and taking this less expensive product and we're listing it for a higher price. And that's a very simple strategy. And then from there, what happens that $20 from the initial consumer goes to our payment processor, our point of sale system. And that point of sale system then gives us our money back. And then that money, that $10 that we had to pay for the original product, is sent back to eBay. Now, it's important to understand that we are not doing this manually. We are not manually buying eBay products and then selling them to customers like that. The way that we are doing it is we are going through an MOR, a merchant of record. The merchant of record is responsible for refunds, fulfillment, shipping, all of that. The reason being is that if I tried to do this manually, first off, you would need to contact eBay directly and make sure with them that this is a strategy that is legal and works with them. Instead, we're going with this MOR, the separate company that goes ahead and works with us so that we are able to do this. And that's why we see this balance of $9.71 over here. We're taking in a $10 profit from that initial product price difference, but then a 2.99% needs to be sent to the merchant of record. So if I'm selling $10 profit, then the merchant of record is taking 29 cents since they are going ahead and they are automating this process. So it's important to keep in mind that when we are doing this, we are not taking care of refunds. We are not taking care of logistics or shipping or any of that, which is traditionally what makes such a strategy difficult. And we are making our lives a lot easier by using this merchant of record and making sure that they're taking a cut of it, and then we're taking the rest. And then this $20 and $10 difference, this is a very basic example. There are a lot of different price points. You can look into a lot of different prices that are going to work out for you. A 100% margin probably isn't going to, or maybe at least this price point might not be working out. But let's say if I want the same profit, I could have something at a $90 product cost and a $100 selling point. So that is on paper still only a 10 or 11% margin on top of the original product cost, but it's still the same $10 being made. So that's why you should pick something a bit higher ticket. And when I say higher ticket, I just mean that it's something that should be on the more expensive side. So this is what it looks like on the back end in terms of how do we actually automate the things? How do we make all of these moving parts move together? But now we also need to understand how do we get the customer to our website that the customer will actually buy products off of our site. And when we're talking about the site that we're using, we are not coding the site ourselves. We're using the merchant of record. The merchant of record is providing everything for us. This merchant of record is just MOR. That's what it stands for. So when we're talking about retail arbitrage, this is the sales strategy that I've been using. I think it's the one that works the best. What we're doing is we are using AI written articles. So every day what we do, we wake up, we use ChatGPT, and we spend like 3 minutes, 4 minutes just having a AI written article being posted. And over time, what that's going to do is that it's going to get more and more clicks to our website. And I'll explain that in the next slide, how exactly clicks and search engine optimization works. But these AI written articles, they are going to get clicks to our website. And it's okay if you don't understand why they get clicks. I'll explain that later. And this articles, as they're getting clicks, some of those clicks, these impressions, they convert into actual purchases of the product that we had listed with our merchant of record. So we're going to be getting some amount of money per day based off the sale that we are making. And that goes directly to us. And for today, all we're going to be focusing on is this first step where it is you're writing the article with AI and then you're posting it and you're getting some initial revenue. But eventually, when you do want to scale up, and this part is much, much, much harder, is you're going to want to take that initial money and you're going to want to reinvest it into advertising. And then whatever profit you're getting from your advertising, you're going to want to reinvest into your advertising. And once this funnel is in a place where it's getting you enough revenue daily, where it makes sense to go full time with it, that's when you can go ahead and cash out. But you need to make sure that this part is really set and making enough money before you go. But again, we are not focusing on any of the advertising today. We're only focusing on AI written articles just because advertising, that would take me hours and hours to explain to you guys. It takes significantly longer and significantly more confusing. This part is a bit more easier for beginners to understand. But again, it's not as lucrative. So now actually getting into search engine optimization or SEO and how that works. So when you go onto Google and you search for something like wristwatch, what Google is looking for, it's looking for websites related to wristwatches. And normally the pages that have something about wristwatches on them, watches on them, they're selling watches. So you might expect to see Rolex or Omega or Breitling, all of these big watch brands And the reason why they pop up on the first page of Google is because they put the time and effort into investing into their search engine optimization, making sure that they're getting blog posts and articles going out so that they can go up and rank higher in Google. Because a lot of people don't realize that Google is one of the biggest sales funnels in the world. People just take it for granted. A lot of the times when I want to buy something, I'll go ahead and put it into Google, and I'll scroll through Google and I'll look for something. But usually I'm not going past the first page of Google. I'm only looking at the first most relevant links. So we want to make sure that our website is getting as high of a ranking on Google as possible, where it is becoming a relevant website to buy things on. And the way that this is going to work is that, again, we're going to be doing AI written articles. One a day is what I recommend. It might take 3 or 4 minutes a day. And one of the great things about this is it's going to make sure that you rank up on higher on Google over time. So it has a very compounding effect. And I wrote this equation out over here in this graphing calculator. And it represents this compounding effect. So the X value represents the number of days that have passed. And the Y value is representing the total cumulative impressions that we have. And an impression is just like a, not an impression, a click, like a number of clicks that we're getting to our website via our articles. So on day one, we might get one article, and this one article will get us, let's say, 10 clicks. That's the initial amount of clicks that we'll get over time. Now, 10 clicks with a 5% conversion rate, that's not going to get you any sales. But let's fast forward to 20 days. After 20 days, the number of cumulative impressions or clicks that we've gotten has jumped to 390. And the reason for that is it's not just the article for today that we're posting that is getting clicks, it's all the articles of the past. So the article that we posted on day 1 and day 2 and day 3, those ones are still getting clicks even on day 20. So it has a compounding effect since even old articles continue to bring in clicks. So after day 20, we have 390 clicks. Now you do the math. Off of 390 and a 5% conversion and whatever profit you're taking off of each product, you can imagine that starts to add up. And I made this even for 1 year. After 365 days, we get 70,000, roughly 70,000 views. And with a 5% conversion rate, that's getting us roughly 3,500 purchases. Now, as we talked about before, let's say you're getting a $10 profit off of these 3,500 purchases. That's $35,000 over a year. If you're getting $20 profit per sale, that's $70,000. So this is something that has a really compounding effect. And when you start taking into account these advertising that we'll be doing later, that's something where you can move a lot quicker. The SEO works and it's very consistent and it works great for sales. Only things that it is a little bit slow. You can see like over the first 2 or 3 weeks, we are not getting that many sales, if any. But over time, it really does ramp up and it becomes something where you can make quite a bit of money off of that. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and then in the next clip, what we're going to do is we're going to go into and actually work on how do we actually build our store up and how do we actually start selling. So I hope that first clip that I showed with the slideshow, I hope that helps you understand more around what exactly we're doing. Now we're actually going to get into the strategy. And if you still have questions on how the strategy works, you can just leave a comment on the post. I will usually respond to comments more than I will respond to DMs. So if you want to leave a comment, I'll go ahead and respond to that. So what we're going to Google is Gemini AI Studio. And we're going to click this. What we're going to do now is we're going to click on Create API Key. We're going to click on Default Gemini Project. And we're going to click on Create Key. And we're going to go ahead and copy that key. Make sure that you are not setting up billing. Again, do not set up billing. You want to make sure you are on the free tier. And then from here, you can also see the usage of your Gemini API. And I'm going to be moving through this second part of the tutorial a bit faster because I spent a lot of time on the first half. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to go to Stripe. Stripe is our payment processor. And what you're going to want to do is once you're on stripe.com, go ahead to sign in over here. And then go ahead and click on this button, Create Account. And go ahead and create an account. And make sure that this is the Google account you want to use for the rest of this process. Once we're on the front page of Google, we're going to want to go and click on this and search up Daily AI. And click on Get Started. And then create an account. All right, and then you just want to go into your email and verify your email via the link they send and then sign in. So I went ahead and I verified my email and then I'm going to sign in. We're going to want to click on this left-hand option, Dropshipper. Again, we're doing something a little different called Retail Arbitrage. Skip, and then skip. And then we're going to click on Create First Store. Now you want to pick something, as I mentioned before, that is high ticket. High ticket meaning that it is expensive enough where even on a smaller profit margin, you're making enough money. As I mentioned before, getting a $10 profit off of a $90 item is a lot easier than getting a $10 profit off of a $10 item. So I'm going to go ahead and call this store G-Shock. And let's actually capitalize this and make it look pretty. And then we're going to go on just the free starter plan. And we're going to name this, let's go to ChatGPT and come up with a good name for this. And we're going to ask it to come up with a name for a G-Shock store. Let's do Shockcore. And now let's ask ChatGPT again to make a slogan. And let's do Street Tough Shock Strong. And for those of you who don't know what a G-Shock is just a watch. So then we're going to go in and we're going to upload a logo. And I recommend that you do upload a logo. So I have this logo of a G-Shock. And then we're going to go in and we're going to continue and create store. Now it's time for us to select our products. So for us, we need to manually select a product. So I'm going to go ahead and search up for G-Shock. And let's choose this first option over here. And I'm going to clean up this title a little bit to make it a little bit prettier. And the reason I'm doing this, I just want to make sure everything looks professional, everything looks great. And we're going back to ChatGPT. We're going to ask it to make a description for that product. Let's copy this description, put it in the description box. Next, you can see this original image is kind of blurry. We're going to want to use a better image. We're going to click on Upload Image. And we're going to put these images in. Now, keep in mind that these are not the exact models. If this was a real live store, I would make sure that the products look exactly the same as the original, because that creates a lot of issues and that can actually get you banned on this site. And then we're going to click on Save Changes, and then Save and Continue. Next, we go to Manage, then we go to Earnings, and then we're going to click on Connect Bank Account. And you're going to want to use the exact same email address that you used before. As you can see, this is once again Stripe. So make sure you use the same one as you used at the start to create your Stripe account. And let's go back to My Stores, Manage. You're going to want to go to Settings, and you're going to want to input the. You're going to want to click this check mark first, and then input your Gemini API key. So let me get that. Again, go here, AI Studio, copy it, enter it, enter some blog keywords, and I'll say. I'm asking ChatGPT to give me 3 keywords for G-Shock. I'll do rugged, durable, and watch. And then we're going to want to scroll down until it says haggling mode. Haggling mode, we're going to select Gemini. And we're going to click on Save Settings. And we're going to reload and we're going to verify everything happened correctly. So our logo is good. This is checked, API key is configured, and this is text only. Great. Then we go back to Manage, then we go to SEO and Blogs, and we're going to go ahead and actually create our first blog post. We're going to scroll down, and then we're going to ask ChatGPT to come up with an article. And we're going to wait for ChatGPT to go ahead and actually do it. So I'm going to copy the title on over, put the title here, and then we're going to get the content. And you can see that took me roughly 60 seconds to get this article down. And then we're going to want an excerpt. We're going to want a category, a meta title, and a meta description. So take the excerpt, copy it on over there. Category, watches, meta title, put it there, meta description, and then put it there, and we're going to click on Publish immediately. Now we can see this went ahead and published. If we click on View Public Blog, what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and do it, and we're going to get it open. And the way that it works is that this is going to be posted on Google. Google usually takes 7 to 10 days to actually go ahead and get your article onto Google and in the search results. But once it's there, you can imagine someone is reading this article, and as they're reading it, they scroll down, and this is something they're interested in, obviously, since they saw G-Shock, and they searched for G-Shock, and this got your article here. And the article, the call to action on the article gets people to visit your store. And once they're on the store, they're going to click on Shop Now, and they're going to click on Haggle. And here, what they can do is they can say, hey, I want a lower price on this item. And what Gemini is going to do, Gemini is going to go ahead and actually give them discounts over time while making sure that they can go ahead and you can actually profit from this. And let's say I click Buy Now, and I think this is a good price. I'll go ahead and I'll enter everything I need. I'll enter my full name and whatever, and then I'll continue to payment. And then once the customer actually goes in and makes that payment, you are going to go ahead and log in to Daylily and go back here and manage, and you'll see that profit come out over here in the earnings page. And that's how it'll work. And the haggling feature, I think, is really important because it makes sure that you're differentiating from other customers. But yeah, I hope that everything here in this tutorial made sense. I hope that everyone here is also able to make their own stores like this, and I hope that it works out for you guys. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me.